Okay, so this video is a little bit of an extra video on pull-ups to give you just a couple of tips things I've seen, not necessarily wrong, but that are less effective to your pull-up and to learning a pull-up. So doing these things right are going to help you get a pull-up better and faster. So one is grip. So often when we first grip the bar, we kind of just grab it randomly, whereas actually if you're grabbing it with just the tips of your fingers over the bar, then you're really just relying on those last bits of your finger to hold on, and it's much easier that you start to feel yourself slipping, and it's actually harder to pull from that position. So instead, really make sure that the first knuckle is on top of the bar, pointing up towards the ceiling. So you've really got a good grip. It might even feel like you get a bit of a stretch down the back of the wrist, but that's fine. Get the stretch, have that stretch, because over time that will feel like less of a stretch as your wrists become more used to this position. So that's one thing, knuckles on top of the bar. This is true about muscle-ups, this is true about pull-ups. Second thing, arms too wide. When you're pulling from here, hey, it's great for lat development, it's great for pulling strength, but when you're trying to learn a skill like a pull-up that's really like a 1 rep max, you want to initially make it as easy as possible for yourself. Then once that's easy, you can make it harder. So a wide pull-up is gonna be hard. So instead, go narrower, go about shoulder width apart. It's gonna be a lot easier to pull from here straight up than it is from this position. This is a lot harder for your lats to engage from this position. So go a little bit narrower, or check if that's something you might be doing. Another thing was about really hanging at the bottom. So often I see people do their pull-up, and then as they get to the bottom, they kind of stop here. I want you to get into a full hang, like really get into that bottom position with arms straight. Definitely the bottom of pull-up is arms straight, so no bend in the elbow. But ideally, it's also shoulder blades fully elevated. So you're in this kind of dead hang position at the bottom of pull-up. Then from here, you're gonna draw the shoulder blades down away from the ears, scapular retraction and depression. And then you're going to bend the elbows and pull yourself up. Now the reason we do this is it means you're much less likely to overuse your traps. So if you do loads and loads of pull-ups, you're practicing for your first pull-up, and you do all of them where you end with maybe your elbows straight, but your shoulders are still really engaged, really tight, then you're much more likely to overuse the back of your neck and your upper traps. And this can become quite uncomfortable with time. Whereas if you can get into that bottom position, really extend the arms and elevate the shoulders, and then draw them down first, so you're setting the shoulder blades again, engaging the lats, engaging the rhomboids, like the mid-back muscles and the rotator cuff muscles, and then pulling from there. Not only are you stronger all around the shoulder joint, the shoulder girdle, but you're also going to be, it's more sustainable. You're going to be less likely to be overusing these upper neck and upper back muscles. So the last thing I was going to add, and I'm going to just change the setup. Now I'm standing on a higher box. I want you to imagine that this is the floor. So this is for those of you that have a setup where the bar is a bit low, and although it'd be great to do a pull-up from a full hang and then pull yourself up, you can't really because the floor is in the way or the bar is too low. In that case, work on your pull-up exactly the same as we've been saying, just bend your knees. Like, it's really not that deep. Bend the knees, get your pull-ups like that. When the bar is low, that's what we have to do. You either bend them behind you or you bend them in front of you. And then when you have the opportunity to work on a nice full extension, hollow body position and pull from there, fantastic, great. And those opportunities will come up. But if the place where you train 99% of the time, the bar is low, just bend the knees. Gets a little bit trickier when you've got a band or if you're working on a banded pull-up, but we can still make it work. So I'm gonna actually push the box forward because that's where my feet are gonna be. So I'm trying to imagine or recreate like a situation where the bar is too low. So when you're using a band, it's going to be hard to get into that dead hang. So you're going to pull up, and then you're going to keep your feet out in front. And still try and get that elbows extended, shoulder blades elevated, then depress the shoulder blades, pull with the arms. And just try and keep your feet out in front.